Feel free to haul a few boxes. We need all the hands we can get.
Look busy or they'll set you lifting too. Whatever's inside's heavy.
I'm afraid you missed the ship, Trousseau. But there'll be another along soon enough. We're already stacking the cargo. Baldur's Gate. The army marches overland. But we sent some friends ahead to smooth the way. Locals need to see her truth. Take their place in her design. Or they don't, and we send them to meet the old gods they cling to. Doesn't matter much either way. Nothing of note. Just supplies for the battle ahead. I've already checked it twice over.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority. Your mind is full, bursting with ecstasy and terror. Finally, it is coming. You are becoming.
As you bear down on his mind, you feel a pulse in response. 1,000 pulses, echoing from the nearby crates. Tadpoles. His mind had rejected the knowledge, forced it behind a mental wall. A wall you just took a hammer to.
Worms. Worms in their heads. Worms all over. Parasites. Worms.
Your tadpole squirms and feels a legion of echoes in response. A pattern of blank minds newly born. They carry only a bare shred of memory, inherited from something older. A sleep of centuries. The birth and destruction of a settlement above forming only background noise to the dream. Until something descended down into the darkness, and the dreamer awoke.
Empty. Void of essence, void of purpose. We cannot allow their birth.
Stand clear of the cargo. Respectfully, Trousseau. Tadpoles? Like, a delicacy? I wouldn't know much about that, Trousseau. I'm just a soldier. Which, speaking of, I'd best go report my man missing. If you'll excuse me.
Then I shall have
Be a dear and strike me deaf. Our guests are especially sobby today.
Don't get too close to the prisoners. They're desperate enough to try anything.
Do I know you, True Soul? Feels like we met before. Maybe in a previous life.
You were adored, Minthara. Brought up from the darkness and into the Absolute's light.
She cherished you, but it wasn't enough. You were distracted by your own desires.
Bloodlust, murder, chaos.
And most damning of all, an inability to follow orders.
I obeyed to the best of my ability!
And isn't that depressing?
You are nothing.
Minthara's mind connects with yours. Not strong as you remembered, but fractured, disintegrating.
Come to observe, True Soul. She is a lesson. None can rise so high that they cannot fall again. We are erasing her. Yes, your authority is great. We can learn, watching you break what little remains of her mind.
Immediately, your mind is swept into a greater vortex, a psionic storm with Minthara at its center.
Submit. Embrace.
Her torturers are not dominating her. They are destroying her mental defenses and exposing her to something else. The Absolute. Navigating the storm, you reach the nexus of her mind. It is a wound, bleeding raw emotion and shattered memories. But she senses your arrival.
So it is you who will end me. Make it swift, then. Anything to silence that thing. That voice. But first, let's make these bastards bleed.
Her mind fills with warmth, and she gently releases you.
Impossible. She was broken.
I expected to be greeted as a hero. But the wretches imprisoned me and tried to tear my mind apart. I didn't think anyone would come for me. Erasing my thoughts and my will. Even I could not have endured for much longer. Agreed. Make haste. I fear that insidious voice will return if I linger here.
Did you request this post too? I'm glad I got the Warden and not Zarel. Don't get chatty with the prisoners, mind you. The Warden won't like that.
Don't speak to the prisoners. The Absolute forbids it.
You, not you. Lord Ketherick may think you pose no threat to him in your disgrace, but I know the things you've done. Keep your bloody thoughts to yourself and your head down. You set foot in our tower once. You did not leave. At least not through any door I have watch over. I assumed you overstayed your welcome. Little did I expect you to intrude again. Your name, your place, was kept from all of us last time, but you were to be shown the utmost of respect. Respect you must have proven yourself unworthy of. And now, you waste my time. Whatever your business, a warning. None may speak to the prisoners. Disciple Balthazar was most clear.
Your mind swirls with information about the prison. The small levers behind the warden's desk open every cell, while the larger one triggers the alarm. And interesting items confiscated from prisoners lie above the warden's office, just up the ladder.
If you are going to stare, kindly do it elsewhere. As I said, you are free to roam where you wish, but do not speak to the prisoners. Disciple Balthazar has plans for them, and were I you, I would not get in the way. He sounds important, and I'm afraid the mere dregs are the only ones left in my care. anyone who refutes the Absolute is an enemy of mine, True Soul. You would do well to remember that. Then you'll get your own cell. Is that so? If you are above the General's chief advisor, you must be most impressive.
Her smirk hides her intent. She's toying with you.
That tone might work on swaddled babes and puppies, but I am neither, True Soul. I'm not sure why someone of your stature must converse with prisoners. Perhaps a small donation would convince me. Pity. I was about to grant you an exception. Move along, True Soul. Have a pleasant day.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Vermit, true soul. Saw absolute ascending. Left flesh joined with her eternally. Discarded, devoured. The absolute chamber. Paradise.
The corpse remains silent. It does not know. The corpse remains silent. That was more of a comment than a question, really.
Let me guess. The Absolute is the only way. Don't bother. Why don't you and Zevlor take a long walk off a short cliff?
He made it? He's all right?
Told you. He's too stubborn to die.
If you're not at the Absolute's beck and call, why are you here?
Gnomes next door are up to something. They've been whispering like mad.
Whatever it is, we're in. Don't leave us in here.
There must be a way out of here. Please. I don't want to end up on some necromancer's slab.
Hey, you were in the grove, right? Please, have you seen Bex? Dark hair, golden eyes. Is she in another cell? Is she all right? She got away. Oh, thank the gods. Thank you. I was sure the curse. Look, tell her to go to Baldur's Gate. I'll meet her there.
Nimble, check for gaps, cracks, anything to leverage the rock. Nickels, tools. Get creative. This rock is basalt. It'll crack with enough pressure. Ah, don't mind us, True Soul. The back wall is weak. We're working to brace it. Barkus is out here? Didn't think he had the stones. Well, if he sent you, you're no slave to the Absolute. You're a damn wolf among sheep, aren't you? I reckon you and I were meant to meet. I'm Wilburn. We've got a plan, for us and the tieflings both. But we're scuppered without the right equipment. We need tools. That head case of a warden robbed ours, but anything that breaks rock will do. even if it's not Iron Hand quality. Whatever you find, throw it through the bars. But for the love of Gerdel, make sure a guard doesn't see you, or we're both done for.
Can you hear it crying? The stone. It's broken.
Whatever Warbrin says, do it. He's the only one that can get us out of here.
We must leave. Now. Lead the way.
Your feet fly fast, my friend. Any luck with those tools? Blessed Gerdel, I thought I'd never see it again. Thank you. The plan is to wait for a quiet moment, then bust out the back wall. We'll grab the tieflings along the way. We'll need them if it comes to a fight. You, however, are the clincher. Once we move, keep the patrols busy. If the bastards spot us, all of bloody Moonrise will come down on us. We'll move once it's quiet. Until then, be ready. Boat's good to go. All that's left is to ship off. My plan for now is to hide out on the water. Unless you have a better idea. Safe? That's no small claim in these parts. Lead the damn way.
You drift through the dark until time, skill, or luck brings you to Last Light's dock.
Hold there! You can't just land and start unloading strangers. They're procedures, damn it! No one gets in without being tested. Commander Jaheira's orders. And they'll have it once we know they're free from infection. Here, form a line. Let's see if the Absolute's little pet recognizes any of you.
The Absolute's what? What are you doing?
If what you said is true, no one has anything to fear. If not, well, we'll soon find out. Now, form a line. I'll not ask again.
I last left Moonrise as a commander in the Absolute's army, obeying the voice of a god. I thought I had found a home and a purpose. Now I leave as an exile. But you risked your life to rescue me. For that, I am grateful.
The artifact connects with her, pulling your minds together and showing her all that you have seen. The prism, your dream visitor, the protection that keeps you from obeying the Absolute and becoming a Lithid. She knows it all in a moment. Her mind reels, but is no longer clouded. She accepts the truth. She has no choice.
There is much we must discuss. Do you have a safe place to camp nearby? Goodbye for now. I will see you soon.
Soldier? You saw the extent of Flo's friendship. She'll lend you a hand, long as she can crush your spirit while she's at it. I knew never to let my guard down around her. She always made me laugh, even when I least wanted to. If she'd been completely different from who she was, we might have been real friends. Nothing worth reading. Cambion manipulation at its most obvious. I guess she did. Much as it makes me want to puke to admit it. Ugh, devils, you know. Fucking devils. They really screw with you, don't they?
In my years as the Blade, I've witnessed countless cruelties, faced unimaginable evil. But Thorm, he is made of pure hate. The Sword Coast will rejoice when the bastard's fallen. My father is somewhere in this tower. I won't leave him in Thorm's hands. And lest we forget, we've a devil to rescue. 2 missions, 1 destination.
Not in a mere prison cell, certainly. My guess, Thorm will have confined him in the bowels of the tower. The deeper we dig, the closer we get.
It does not compare with the comforts of home, but your camp is almost palatial in comparison to my previous accommodation. Thank you for allowing me to come here, and for bringing me back to myself. Each memory that returns to me is more disturbing than the last. The things that I did in the name of the Absolute. The things that were done to me. They broke my mind. Precisely. While our tadpoles live, and the cult have the means to control them, we will never be safe. We must eradicate them, starting with General Thorm. I mean Ketheric. My deference to him is a habit that will die hard, I fear. All that live can die. I can help you plot Ketheric's demise, but I need something from you first. Swear that you will keep me close. Until the Absolute is dead, at least. The Prism will protect me. You will fight alongside me and help me to get my vengeance. I knew you were different to other true souls when we met, but I could see nothing clearly. Now, thanks to the Prism, the Absolute does not cloud my thoughts at all. I see that together, we can have our vengeance on those who infected us. Rest well, and keep your wits about you. Tomorrow, we go to war with the cult of the Absolute. General Thorm would have the world believe that his invulnerability is a gift from the Absolute. That is a lie, intended to impress those who flock to the cult's cause, and to strike fear in the minds of those who stand against the Absolute. I believe Thorm draws his power not from a divine source, but an arcane one. I suspect it is the very relic that Balthazar has been sent to retrieve. We must find the necromancer and claim what he seeks, or destroy it. Now, rest. We will need our strength for what lies ahead. Excellent. Let us teach the cult to fear us.
I want to be clear. Letting Minthara tag along with us was your idea, so if you wake up with a dagger to your throat, that's on you. Excuse me. I'm sorry for looking out for our collective hides. But fine. Take her if you wish. Just know I'll be resting with one eye open. Cazador, Sire 7 spawn. Me and my 6 brothers and sisters. He always insisted we were a family, even when he was carving scars into our flesh. I was one of his first. Some of the others came years later. He was a monster to us all, but did take special pleasure in my pain. He said my screams sounded sweetest. And now that I'm gone, I don't know. I pity the other 6.
Minthara's something of a closed book, but I suspect a heart of gold lurks beneath that stern countenance. Once she gets to know me, I'm sure she'll open up. She's just waiting for someone ready to listen. Alas, no. The charm Elminster granted me requires my death as the spark that will light the orb's fuse. Making myself invulnerable, immortal, or in any other fashion unkillable would render it useless. And gods only know what it might do to the orb itself. Still, I see no harm in learning what we can about this night song. And if we manage to find it, the harm will be all Ketheric's. So, well worth indulging our curiosity.
It doesn't seem long ago that Minthara would have sought to kill us, and now we've welcomed her along. We're nothing if not magnanimous. He's trouble. Worse, he's a traitor. Whatever loyalty he had towards Lady Shah is long gone. It would please her greatly to see him meet his long overdue end, I'll wager.
The Drow is unpredictable, uncompromising. I respect her almost as much as I distrust her.
Once again, your mind opens to Lae'zel, and she considers the disc.
More writings on Orpheus, the so-called Prince of the Comet. The Prince of the Comet, Part 3. The histories tell us that Commander Voss, Gestil Kithrak, pierced Prince Orpheus clean through with his sword of silver, that his flesh was torn and fed to the great red dragon Ephelaman. Vlaakith's faithful roar out this tale, but beneath the roars, we hear whispers carrying truth and prophecy. The Prince of the Comet is not dead. The Prince of the Comet will come again. The Prince of the Comet will liberate us from Vlaakith's tyranny. Praise be to Mother Gith, Queen of the One Sky. Praise be to your son, Orpheus, the true heir, Prince of the Comet. This is more than a fable. It's an affront to the undying Queen Vlaakith. Gith's son died to Voss's blade. Orpheus is no more. It is not just improbable, it is impossible. Kithrak Voss and his red dragon slayed the fell prince. You could no more resurrect him than you could glue together the pile of ashes he became. My Vash taught that the silver bells of Vlaakith's court still ring out before every hunt in celebration of the prince's defeat. As a child, I longed to hear them for myself and sing in praises to the deathless queen and her Kithraki. Tiamat's emissary. It was he who carried word that Mother Gith had negotiated the gift of the dragons, and that Vlaakith I would preside as Queen of the Githyanki. Ephelaman remains the Queen's consort to this day, as endless as the empire he now serves.
I want to thank you. For what you said, whilst I was in front of that vile drow. I spent 200 years using my body to lure pretty things back from my master. What I wanted, how I felt about what I was doing, it never mattered. You could have asked me to do the same. To throw myself at her. What I wanted, be damned. But you didn't. And I'm grateful. It's a novel concept, I admit. And, a little intimidating. It would have been so easy to bite her. To just go along with what I was being told to do. A moment of disgust to force myself through, and then I could have carried on just like before. Well, of course. I needed protection. People don't trust vampires, perhaps understandably, so I needed to get someone on my side. And seducing you was easy, frankly. So imagine how stupid I felt when I started to genuinely feel something for you. Trust me, I was not happy about it. You were a complication I didn't see coming. And yet... Really? You're full of surprises, aren't you? Honestly, I have no idea what we're doing. Or what comes next. But I know that this is nice.